Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I had gone to vote early. I tend to vote early, and I live in Georgia, so I vote early. Anyway, when I got up to get my card, the election worker accidentally dropped it. And so she was about to make another card, and the woman next to her, who's another election worker, was like, "No, I can get it. I can see it. It's under your seat." So she bent down to get it. And I was like, "Ooh, yes, please. Give me the one that was originally assigned to me because I don't want no Edgar Allan Poe stuff happening." And so they looked at me, and the woman who dropped it was like, what do you mean, Edgar Allan Poe? What are you talking about?" And I said, "Oh, well, one of the theories of his death was that he was uh, he was caught up in a cooping scheme. Cooping was a like election voter fraud thing where they would kidnap people off the street, imprison them, like lock them up, and force them to go out and vote for the party that they wanted. Sometimes they would change their clothes and send them back out to different places, voting over and over again for the party they wanted. So it's this cooping scheme. And one of the theories was that he died of alcohol poisoning because they would either give these voters drugs or alcohol and send them back repeatedly. And that's one of the very early, there are many, many theories about Edgar Allan Poe's death, but that was one of the many theories. Well, this woman at the election polls looked at me and was like, "Well, I've never heard that." Now, I don't know what she was thinking, but her reaction, "I've never heard of that," felt like can't be true because I've never heard of it. And so she said to the woman next to her, "Have you ever heard of that?" And the woman next to her was like, "No, I've never heard of that." And so as I'm walking off, I hear them saying to everyone else, "Have you heard of it? I've never heard of it. Have you heard of it? I've never heard of it." And so I said, "Well, nevermore." And so they were like, "Oh yeah, that is a Poe thing." And so the woman was like, "Well, we've never heard of it." And I said, "Well, yeah, go look it up. Uh, Easy to look up." And I called my daughter when I got in my car, and I was like, "You've heard of this, right?" She was like, "Yeah, I kind of went to school." And so we started laughing about how if someone doesn't know something, they question your knowledge as if you're wrong. Instead of saying, "Maybe I'm wrong because I've never heard of it. Maybe not knowing is a not knowing that I don't know. It's an indication that I don't know." Instead, it becomes this indication that you're wrong because I've never heard of it. It was a marvelous kind of exchange and observation. And I realized I've seen this so many times. I used to see it with my students who would ask me, "How do you know?" And my answer was typically, "Because I'm the one holding the chalk." I love you. Don't let your not knowing be some kind of statement about what someone else knows. Go find it for yourself. I love you. And today of all days, Georgia, don't get caught up in no cooping scheme. I love you.